Hi, soul family. Okay, so how are you? I wanted to share, I don't want to call it a technique, but I want to share a new affirmation that I've written. It's a long one. I'm going to put it in the description of this video too, but I would invite you to fill in the blanks where necessary, because this is not based on trying to, when I'm saying this information, I'm not saying it as trying to convince myself of something, right? Which sometimes we can fall into that loop, right? Where it's like you're just trying to convince yourself that what you're saying is true. But I realized today, like, there have been so many little moments of me really waking up to divinity in a new way. So I just want to share something that happened a couple days ago. I just began crying in a fit because I was like, I really don't know. I really don't know. And I was just crying because I felt so much mental stress because certain things that I know are done, I'm like, I don't know how, and it's okay though. We're not supposed to know how. We don't have to know how. Our power is in knowing something is done and letting divine intelligence sort out the details. Like, we're made for big picture thinking. That's exactly how I teach people to write business plans. So it's so funny because I'm very familiar with this kind of thinking. And then it's like whatever you do daily fills in the path. It creates the path. The path is created. And the divine unfolding is always there, and there's nothing you can do or anyone can do to thwart the divine fulfillment of your desire. And this is, I think, where a lot of us can get pulled into YouTube videos, and we're just trying, manifest faster, do this, do that, and it's like, no, stop looking at all of that. Just, you are the fulfillment of everything. It's already done. You are everything. It's out of our hands. And all of life is really like that. Like, we think we're doing everything by our plans, but there's something greater that is always unfolding. Think how many times something fell through in your life and then it turned out better than you could think, right? Even if it's something you thought you didn't want it. And then you look back now and you're like, oh my God, that totally happened for my good. Oh, you know what I mean? Everything's like that. But when we're conscious and we're aware that the world is our projection, the reality outside of us, now we have the chance to, instead of seeing these things in hindsight, we get to use foresight. And we get to say, this is the reality, and reality will bend. I've been really encouraged about this since the last unfolding I saw with multiple things in my life. One of them, especially getting off pills with the approval of a psychiatrist, that to me was a huge thing. And then also, like, just so many other things. I mean, so many other things where I kept claiming I was financially independent, but at the time it's like I was accepting money from my mom, and it seemed impossible. And then something happened where I was like, oh yes, I'm finally financially independent. And it's always contrast that will lead to the divine unfolding, meaning what we think might be happening to our ego, it might look like, oh, this is bad, oh, it didn't go your way. But the person who's spiritually in tune realizes that the contrast, if it goes opposite than what we wanted, that is actually happening. It means that is the unfolding happening, and you have to prepare yourself to receive what you have been asking for, because it's here. It's already here, but the 3D is catching up. So anyway, I'm going to read this affirmation, and if you find yourself in a situation, here, let me start with this. Before I read it out loud, I just want to say that may you set the intention to knowing that you are the divine plan unfolding, that you are the divine, and anything that is aligned with your heart, that is aligned with your greater spirit, your highest self, or the truth, what you declare, it is done. So as I'm reading this affirmation, it is based on your divine calling and purpose. and knowing that. And I just want to say one thing I realized is that it is my divine work to enjoy my life. It is your divine work to enjoy your life. It is your divine work to enjoy money. It is your divine work to be healthy. It's your divine work to be joyous. All of this is divine work. I don't care if you, whatever you're doing with your life, if you enjoy it, that's your divine work. That's your divine mission. So you have to know what you enjoy. For me, I love going out to restaurants. I love tipping generously. And I realized that's a part of my divine work. Well, thank you, universe, for supporting me financially in that work. And then I realized that the apartment I'm at, it happened so divinely that I'm like, I know that I'm called to be here because it's perfect for me. Number one, it's like retrofitted for me. And then, and not just the apartment, but the neighborhood, everything I asked for to a T. But then also just the ability for me to walk and support businesses by going out to eat, and the ability for me to fulfill my other divine work unbothered, which is writing and teaching business development. I'm realizing I actually help people awaken to their divinity through business building, business developing, and developing nonprofits. And that's my divine work too. So it's when you really, this whole affirmation is inviting you to look at every single part of your life as a divine work. And all the way down to someone that I'm involved with where I thought it was, I've been debating like, is this right? Is this not right? And I'm like, no, I chose this man. Like I choose to love him. I'm loving him, and I see him. He's a divine being, and I just realized like, oh, that's my divine work to love him. So realize whatever is placed in our lives right now, it's our divine work to be in it fully. It's our divine work to be fill in the blank, right? And most importantly, it's our divine work to be supported financially to fulfill our divine work. It's the universe's desire to support us in all of our divine work. Therefore, why wouldn't we be supported in these things that bring us joy, right? So with that preface, I'm going to read this, and I hope this, I'm believing that this will awaken you to your divinity, to the perfection that it is beyond this world, beyond circumstances, beyond preferences. So here you go. The universe financially supports me in my divine work of, fill in your blanks now. I chose enjoying life, supporting small businesses, and tipping generously. This is all my divine work. So is paying my bills and giving generously to others and investing. I have been divinely appointed to reside in, so in my apartment, my address. And so this is also supported by the universe. Now, I will say, don't say anything that you don't feel to be true. If you know where you're divinely appointed to be, like if you have a strong desire to live somewhere, say that. Okay? But if you feel like you are divinely called to be where you are, say that too and reaffirm it if you need, if your 3D reality is showing you a contrast that shows you otherwise. If you're questioning that you feel you're called to be there, but the 3D is saying otherwise, use that affirmation, okay? The universe supports my divine work of awakening others to their divinity through the teachings of business development. Fill in the blank for yourself. The universe supports my divine work of blank. So I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that my bills are always paid in full, and my rent is always paid in full, and with plenty of disposable income to enjoy and invest. Because it is my divine right and mission and purpose to enjoy life, to invest, to do whatever. Okay, I am thankful to the universe for, I said my apartment, but you can say whatever you want, fill in the blank. to fulfill my work without interruption and to fulfill my divine calling. I know I am the path of the divine, and there is nothing that can keep me from receiving the provision required for my divine work all of my days. I am on the divine path infinitely, and I cannot misstep on it, nor can I step off of it. Every action and decision is a part of the unfolding for my highest good and the highest good of all. There is nothing I can do to prevent divine provision from entering my life. Okay. I'm going to put that in the description, but let me know if that helps you, and thanks for watching.